Today I'm going to teach you how to spot a Midwesterner in the wild. Now the first and easiest way to spot a Midwesterner is by their wardrobe. We love wearing hats so much in the Midwest. In the winter, we like to wear two. I'm not taking this ball cap off. I'm just going to take my stocking cap, slap it over the first hat. It's the best of both worlds. My ears are warm, and when it comes to my eyes, good fucking luck, son. Plus, it looks pretty sick. Here's another example for you. In the Midwest, we love to wear our souvenirs. Hey, Miles, you just went on a trip. Where'd you go? What do you mean? You can't tell? I went to Yellowstone and did some rafting. So if you see someone wearing a Mount Rushmore shirt, a Wisconsin Dells shirt, and they're not there, you know they just got back from a trip and they're from the Midwest. This next piece of advice is all about food. The absolute best way to spot a Midwesterner is at a chain restaurant. In the Midwest, we hate change. So when we go to a new place and we want something to eat, we immediately look for Old Reliable. There's already a lot of change being in a new place. You can't add fuel to the fire by picking a restaurant you never been to. Our idea of a fancy dinner is going to a Red Lobster or an Olive Garden. Have you shoved 14 breadsticks at Olive Garden in your mouth? Because I have, and I am not ashamed. Next way to spot a Midwesterner, pay attention to what they're drinking. It is no mystery that us Midwesterners like to drink. And when you are as experienced as us, you're bound to come up with some strange recipes. One thing that screams, "Hey, I'm from the Midwest!" is the beer and a spear. It's simple. You take a pickle spear, put it in your beer. Another thing you can do, take some tomato juice, put that in the beer. You got a red beer, which opens up the door for another Midwest classic, Bloody Mary. I know a lot of parts of the country do Bloody Marys. They don't do Bloody Marys like a Midwesterner. We're gonna take as much shit as possible and pile that on top of a Bloody Mary. It is going to be a full meal. We're talking celery, we're talking chicken strips, we're talking bacon, we're talking the whole kitchen sink. Another surefire way to know if someone's from the Midwest, just look for last names that end with S-K-I, S-O-N, S-E-N. Think about it, every Polanski, Henderson, Anderson, Christensen, Erickson, Olson you've ever met is from the Midwest. Now the weirdest part about the last name thing is you might know 4 different families with the same last name. And even though they live in the same small town, somehow none of them are related. Small towns across the Midwest are single-handedly keeping 23andMe in business. You gotta do your research before you ask someone to prom or ask them to marry you. Another way to know if you've found a Midwesterner in the wild, figure out what time they started drinking. We love to drink in the morning. If you spot someone at a bar bellied up drinking a mimosa, Irish coffee, or even just a beer, you know they're from the Midwest. Ever heard of eggs and kegs? We invented that. And don't believe me, just go on vacation one time with a Midwesterner. The second those eyelids open up, they are pouring a drink. Imagine if the Midwest took all the innovation and ingenuity they put into drinking tactics and applied it to something useful. We'd probably already be on the moon. I meant to say Mars. I need a beer. Now you know how to spot a Midwesterner, and if you do see one, make sure you give them a little smirk and a nod. They'll appreciate that. It's a sign of respect.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah.